Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Augusta, Illinois, Southeastern High School, as it's homecoming for the Southeastern Suns as they play host to the Payson-Seymour Indians tonight. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Evan Wagner on camera tonight. The pep band is behind us, so we'll have the national anthem in just a couple moments. The JV game won by Payson-Seymour. So the national anthem is complete as we get ready to go for the starting lineups. Coach Kerr is doing the starting lineups tonight, so we'll let you hear him do it.
Now we have the varsity contest. The visiting team on the scoreboard, the Payson-Seymour Indians. And home team, the Southeastern Suns. Let's do the starting lineup for the visiting Indians. Number 4, Lane Barker.
Lane Barker, number 4.
Number 23, Blake
23,
Schwartz.
Blake Schwartz.
12,
Wyatt Nyson.
Number 3, Richie Martin.
Richie Martin, a senior.
Number 10,
Number 10, Brian Deeker. The starters for the Indians. And the Suns cheerleaders getting ready to have some fun now. As we get ready for the starting lineup for the Southeastern Suns, it will be probably most of the usual suspects for the Suns tonight. Keith Yex is in the house. Looks like he's doing the photography duties tonight for the Hancock County Journal-Pilot. As we are getting closer to one of the most anticipated Class 1A games in the state, I would imagine, tonight, between the Payson-Seymour Indians and the Southeastern Suns. Most definitely in the Hancock County area, anyway. And the starting lineup now for the Southeastern Suns. Griffin Tippy getting a start tonight. Aiden Akers getting the start tonight as well, so a little bit different on the lineup here. Owen Rigg getting the starts. No surprise there. Mason Fry, number 24. And the man in the middle, and the man on the outside, and the man on the wing, and the man everywhere for the Southeastern Suns, Danny Stevens, the other starter, the 6'8 senior, wears number 23. So we're just about ready to go here with the tip live from Augusta, Illinois, in Southeastern High School. It's homecoming in this place, folks, as you can see on the far side of the gym. This place is packed. There's not many open seats anywhere to be had. I don't know if there are any at all, even as their people are getting up and walking up through bleachers and people are moving out of the way. It is a packed house tonight, and they're all here to watch what should be a very good basketball game. Payson-Seymour, a team that went to state last year. These two teams met in this throughout the season. And Danny Stevens gets the tip, and we're underway here. Owen Rigg, as it's the 1-2-2 zone here, packed in for Payson-Seymour. Danny Stevens, an NBA leg three, and it's well off the mark to the right. Rebound's going to come back. It's Lane Barker with it. He gives it off to Neeson, and Neeson can't get the shot to fall. Rebound, though, to Deeker. Now it goes out to Schwartz, and backing it back out is Wyatt Neeson. We'll talk a little bit about this as we go along. Neeson's going to drive a little crossover move on a little good defensive help, though, and Stevens now is going to go back the other way. Gets away with a carry and puts the shot up. He misses the layup. And it's going to come back the other way. 7 minutes about to remaining here in quarter number one. Three in the corner for Schwartz. It's good. Schwartz hits the first basket of the game, just like Howell did for the Indians in the Fresh Soft game. Schwartz gets a 3-0 lead for Payson-Seymour, and a 1-2-2 press awaits now as they take it slowly up the floor. Going to have to get it across. Across it goes, but there's going to be a pass knocked away out of bounds by Richie Martin, who kind of snuck in on the back door and knocked it away, but it's going to stay with the Suns. Live chat's open. Hop in. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. We love to see the live chat active here tonight. Just underway, 6:30 remaining here in quarter number one. You're wondering why it started so late. A lot of homecoming festivities tonight. Stevens with it, top of the key, goes to Rigg. Down low it goes to Tippy now. Tippy back out to Rigg. 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Fry with it. High post kind of position for Danny Stevens right now against the 1-2-2 zone. They are not doing a box and one. They are doing a 1-2-2, but they're keeping it packed in. Everybody is free throw line and inside the three-point arc. So it's a very tight 1-2-2 for Payson-Seymour right now. Mason Fry goes to Stevens, top of the key. Stevens tries to drive, nowhere to go with it. Goes down on the baseline to Akers. Now give and go and all kinds of contact. And the ball went out of bounds, and it's going to go off of Stevens. And Coach Ufkus wants a timeout. And Stevens gets taken down, and Coach Ufkus is less than impressed. And he is coming out on the floor yelling at everybody, every official to listen, but the one that could have made the call and should have made the calls at the other end. It's a timeout, a 30-second timeout charged to the Suns. That'll be the first timeout of the game for either team. Hannah Bingaman watching from Davenport, Iowa. Whose birthday is Wyatt Neeson's birthday today, Hannah? I think that's the only Wyatt that I see on the list, so I'm going to think that might be who it is. If so, happy birthday, Wyatt Neeson. Now Coach Ufkus and J.D. Beal having a conversation at the huddle. Evan slacking a little bit on the camera there. Didn't have that conversation going on. Coach Ufkus is still working the officials here near us as it walks up the floor. Neeson with it. Going to give it off to Barker. Across it goes to Schwartz. Schwartz now in to Deeker. Deeker's fadeaway's off, no good. Mason Fry is going to come down with it. He's double teamed, gets it out to Stevens. Back the other way they go with numbers. 3-on-3. Stevens to the rack, shots up off, no good, and a block's going to be called on, see who gets up off the floor. It's Richie Martin going to pick up the foul, his first, team's first. Danny Stevens at the free throw line to shoot 2 now for the Suns. First free throw by Stevens is good. Suns get their first points at 5:22 to go here in the first quarter. Second one good as well for Danny Stevens. Hits them both. 3-2. Michael Flesner watching from St. Louis, a Payson fan. Out of bounds off of Richie Martin, and Martin was like, I had 1 foot there, and there was 3 white-shoed feet there, or white-jerseyed feet there, and I had to go off of mine. But the official says it was off him, so it's going to go to the Suns. 5:04 remaining here in the first quarter. Aiden Akers with it. And Highland still watching. Well, we appreciate you watching, Ann. The Suns fans are outnumbered in the live chat right now, though, I think. So we could change that a little bit here. If you're a Suns fan, you want to get in there and share the link, if you would, folks. This is going to be a good one down the stretch, I would imagine. We're at the 4:35 mark. Probably not going to be a ton of scoring, maybe. Aiden Akers pull-up jumper off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound to Schwartz. He pushes it up in a hurry and then backs it back out, sets up the offense. It goes to Barker. Now driving on the baseline is Neeson. He tries to get it in. Got to the baseline, couldn't do anything with it. He was forced out of bounds. Amber Ike says, let's go Suns, cheering all the way from Houston, Texas. That's awesome. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate you hopping in the live chat. We love seeing the people from a distance away and the people from right next door as well. It's awesome to have the live chat going. Mason Fry with it halfway through quarter number 1. 3-2 is the score. Owen Rigg. Mason Fry gets the basket and a foul. Counted in a foul for Mason Fry. I believe it was on number 12. We'll wait and see here. Old-fashioned three-point play attempt coming for Mason Fry. Missed it. I think it was on number 12. I want to put it on 12. Oh, we'll talk about that. We'll take it. And the coaching staff for Tyler Dashinsky, less than impressed with the fact, you might have heard him yelling timeout. He was yelling timeout, and then really yelled timeout to finally get the timeout on that one. Pastor Tom is watching, says, let's go Suns. This game being brought to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsellscars.com to check out their inventory. And Adams Experts, looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services. Call Adams Experts at Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer breaks down. And a bucket for Richie Martin, his first 2 of the night. That's 5-4. And Griffin Tippy with a bucket for the Suns. 6-5 Suns. 3 on the way by Schwartz. It's off, no good. Danny Stevens with a rebound. Aiden Akers was there, but Stevens towering over him and able to get the rebound. Manissa Berg watching again for the varsity con. Danny Stevens goes to the lane, and a runner's good for Danny Stevens. He's got 4, 2 from the free throw line and 2 from the field. Suns lead 8-5. And, oh, what a job coming back to get that for Barker. As Deeker had thrown to Zig, and he kind of went on the zag. Deeker now drives, puts a shot up and over Danny Stevens, and good for Brian Deeker. 8-7 the score. Rhonda, thanks for joining us. Nyson instead of Neeson. Okay, I appreciate that. Nyson. Is it Wyatt Nyson's birthday? Ned Eckert's joining us. Thank you, Ned. Danny Stevens gets another bucket. He's got 6. Ten to 7. Martin's pass is stolen away. Owen Rigg on the steal. Danny Stevens picks up, goes right side to Rigg. Danny Stevens looks at the long 3, doesn't take it. Gives it back to Rigg. Down the corner, it goes to Akers. 1:25 remaining here in quarter number 1. Suns lead 10-7. Owen Rigg with it now. Still playing the zone here. Down low, Tippy. Out top, Mason Fry. Right side, Rigg. 3 seconds in the lane. And with 1:04 remaining, the ball goes back to the Indians. Carter Hitz checking in for the Suns. Austin Stone King checking in as well. Nyson with it. He's going to throw it away out of bounds. 50.8 seconds remaining. Stone King with it from Stevens over to Rigg. 38 seconds remaining. Working to close out quarter number 1 here. Owen Rigg with the basketball. He gives it off to Carter Hitz. Hitz now up top to Akers. 25 seconds remaining. Right side, Owen Rigg. Up to Stevens. 20 seconds. He's guarded by Schwartz. Still in the zone. Now coming up to guard him is Deeker. Over to Akers. 7 seconds. Gives it to Stevens. Over to Owen Rigg for 3 to end the quarter. It's off, no good. Rebound. They're going to call a foul right at the buzzer, I believe, on Aiden Akers. The quarter is going to end, but the foul is going to be on. It is on Aiden Akers. That'll be his first, team's first. So very quick first quarter. Only 3 fouls called total. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back to Augusta, Illinois. Dwayne Hulett here with you. Evan Wagner on the camera up top. And it's 10-7 as we start the second quarter here from Augusta, Illinois, Southeastern, and Payson-Seymour. The Suns on homecoming night, leading here early. I want to thank everybody who's been active in the live chat. We do appreciate that. And on the pronunciation, if we say something wrong, hop in there. If you can spell it in a way that I can make sure I say it right, I do greatly appreciate that. So, Kay, thank you. I appreciate that. Nyson instead of Neeson, so I'll try to keep that right. Nyson with it right now. And it's going to go off of Richie Martin's hands. Nope, it was tipped away by Akers, apparently. I didn't see the tip. It's going to be inbounded by Deeker. Nyson back to Deeker. Back to Nyson. Near side it comes to, no, not Schwartz. It's actually Nolan Sparks in the game. Sparks gives it off to Barker. Barker back to Sparks. Right side to Deeker. Nyson gives it off to Martin. Martin skips it across to Barker, who misses the 3, and then coming in to try to knock the ball away was Brian Deeker. He's going to pick up the foul, his first, team's third. Owen Rigg to inbound. Looks like going to go a man press here. Now they're going to try to trap in it, though, as Stevens, though, is going to get down the floor and put up the shot, and it's up and in. Didn't look like the best shot when it left his hand, but it fell through, and he's got 8. Down the corner, Martin with it up top. Deeker. Now driving is Nyson. His reverse layup's off no good, but Deeker's there for the rebound, and Deeker gets his second 2. He's got 4. First player for Payson-Seymour to score a second bucket. It's 12-9. Mason Fry could have taken it across half court right there. He finally does step across. Comes back across to Stevens. Austin Stone King, Danny Stevens, Owen Rigg, Carter Hitz, and Mason Fry on the floor for the Suns. It's Nolan Sparks. Oh, Stevens is going to drive, put the shot up. They're going to call him for a travel. No shot. Traveling. Checking in is going to be number 23, Blake Schwartz. He's going to replace Richie Martin. So it's going to be Blake Schwartz, Nolan Sparks, Lane Barker, Wyatt Nyson, and number 10, Brian Deeker on the floor for the Indians here as Stone King tips that one away. 6:27 to go in the first half. Tyler Barker watching from Illinois College in Jacksonville, Illinois. Thanks for watching. There's a short pull-up jumper in front of Danny Stevens. Nyson gets a good rebound. Rigg now gives it, outlets it in a hurry to Stevens. Stevens pushes it back the other way. To the rack he goes, puts the shot up. We're going to, no basket, but the foul's called on the floor. Well, let's see. Oh, they call it a charge. One calls it a charge. They're going to talk about it. Danny Stevens is going to get called for the charge. Never mind. Two fouls apiece. Danny Stevens has 1. It's 12-9. But Danny Stevens went in pretty haphazardly. I'll give him that. I don't know that it was. And 3 on the way by Deeker is off no good. Stevens has the rebound. And then they're going to call a foul on Schwartz, I believe. It is going to be on Blake Schwartz, his first, team's third. And Coach Ufkus, who's been on the officials all night long, is on the official right now. And he's getting told that's it. He's had enough. So Danny Stevens going to walk it up the floor. His team leading by 3 against the 1-2-2 zone press again. Carter Hitz. Foul is going to be called on Brian Deeker, his second. And the emotions are flying here already, folks. The referee made that right in front of the small contingent. It's not small. It's a pretty good bunch of people over there. They're just packed into a tight area. And it was right in front of the Payson-Seymour bench where that foul was called, and they're still talking here. As Owen Rigg going to inbound. Tippy was wide open. He didn't get it to him. Up top to Carter Hitz. Hits over to Fry. 5:45 to go in the first half. Tim Kincaid on the rewatch said Danny didn't touch him. Yeah, it's a nice thing about being able to go and rewatch it, isn't it? That's nice pass, and Stone King's blocked. Even better defense by Schwartz. It was a great pass. Stone King didn't go up strong enough, and Schwartz was able to get there for the block. 3 on the way is good by Lane Barker, and we are tied at 12. 5:08 remaining here in the first half. Stevens going to drive. And now a foul is going to be called on the aforementioned Lane Barker, his first, team's 5th. I think the bench warning to both teams by the officials. And one coach is saying, I don't know what I did. The other one saying, I don't know why you're getting bench warned. It's quite the for being this early in the game, folks, this one's got interesting written all over it. Down the corner, Tippy doesn't take the three, gives it back to Mason Fry, 4:45. This time, won't. He'll go down to Hitz. Hitz is going to save it in, throw it off, but it's going to stay in bounds. And Akers is going to come back in. Sparks to Nyson. Nyson to the rack. His shot's off, no good. Tippy with a rebound. Tippy has got some ups, folks. He can jump. Stevens, a left-handed finger roll. Give him 10. And he gives the Suns the lead again. Barker over to Schwartz. Back to Barker. Back to Schwartz. 4-12. There's a foul by Carter Hitz. There's a block as he came and fouled Brody Deeker. But Carter Hitz is going to pick up a foul, his first, team's third. Suns will be in a bonus the rest of the way. Aiden Akers checks back in, taking out Carter Hitz. Inbounding under their own basket is Nyson. Out to Schwartz. He's wide open for three. Barely got rim, and Mason Fry grabs it. 4:05 to go here in the first half. Danny Stevens walks the ball up the floor as Nolan Sparks is going to pick him up at the top of the key. Very young Payson-Seymour team, in all honesty. They have one senior starting. Make that two seniors. Brian Deeker and Richie Martin. Lane Barker. There's a three on the way by Griffin Tippy. Tippy's got 5. It was tied at 12, and the Suns have rolled off 5 straight, and there's a kick by Tippy. .333 remaining. Josh Kaltenbach coming in for the first time. Mason Fry takes a seat. Back in is Richie Martin for the Indians. It's Nyson, Barker, Martin, Schwartz, and Brody Deeker. Couple misses. Fade away from about 15 feet for Stevens, no good. Rebound by Nyson, and they'll bring it back the other way. Boy, Martin was wide open under the basket. Schwartz for three, right left corner. It's good. Schwartz has got 2 threes, 6 points. It's back to a 2-point game. Under 3 minutes to go now. Danny Stevens with it. Owen Rigg now as we set the offense up one more time. Mason Fry getting ready to go back in. Josh Kaltenbach. Owen Rigg. Down in the corner, skip pass to Tippy. Now Kaltenbach. Kaltenbach down to Stevens. Free throw line as he jumped out. His jumper, good for Danny Stevens. He's got 12. Nyson over to Schwartz. Schwartz tipped away, but it goes right to Barker. Schwartz back with it again. He pulls up. Another three on the way. It looks good. It's off. And Kaltenbach's going to get called for the foul, pushing Martin. Kaltenbach's going to pick up his first, team's fourth. 19-15, 2:07 to go here in the first half. Nyson inbounding for the Indians. He gets it into Brody Deeker. Schwartz with it. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Nyson coming up to get it. He does. It's like a 2-3 zone now by the Suns. Barker tries to get it down. Stevens knocks it away. Foul's going to be called on Lane Barker, his second. And one in bonus coming for Kaltenbach. With 1:48 remaining. Team foul number 7 for the Indians. Kaltenbach's first free throw off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound picked up off the floor by Brody Deeker. He played a lot in the fresh soft game. Nyson now. Wyatt Nyson, a junior, 6'2". Couple seniors, couple sophomores. Schwartz is a sophomore. Steal by Rigg, who tries to throw it in the middle of them. Brody No, Barker goes down to get it. Nice bounce pass to Schwartz. His shot's off, no good. Martin with the rebound. It's blocked by Stevens. And I think Kaltenbach's going to get the foul, not Stevens, I think. We'll wait and see. Yeah, it is on Kaltenbach. It'll be his second. But in Kaltenbach's defense, folks, not 100% certain, but I believe that Richie Martin at the free throw line shooting 2, 1:21 to go. Free throw off the front of the rim, a little shooter's touch right there, gets it to fall. Kaltenbach got hit by Stevens, and I don't really think it was called. Kaltenbach wasn't even in a position to foul. He just got hit and knocked into him. 1:21 to go. Second free throw is much better and good for Richie Martin. Back to a 2-point game, 19-17. Danny Stevens with 1:13 remaining. Nearly lost it. Gets it out to Rigg. Brody Deeker. Now Rigg. Deeker is Barker now following Stevens a little bit. Now Mason Fry as we approach 60 seconds remaining here in the first half. Mason Fry with it. The zone has spread a little bit for Payson-Seymour, but not a ton. It's still a pretty packed-in zone. Everybody's inside the three-point line, minus the person guarding the ball. Stevens with it now. His jumper is off, no good. Griffin Tippie up for the rebound, goes down, comes up with it, puts up the shot. It's off the glass and good for Griffin Tippie. He's got 7. 21-17. Nyson to Brody Deeker. Schwartz now with 13 seconds remaining. They set up the offense, one play here for one shot. Schwartz comes near side. Barker's there. Barker now comes up to Deeker, down in the corner to Nyson, and that's going to get Coach Ufkus is going to take the shot, and I don't think the official was overly happy about that. Gave him a pretty good stare down there. And that's the end of the first half of play, and it's been exciting. Let's just say that. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the cheerleaders dance and some stats here in just a few seconds.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first.
And we're going to end that short, let you guys watch the cheerleaders here from a bit of a distance, but you'll be able to see the cheerleaders, and I'll talk to you about what's going on during that as the first half finishes 21-17. Suns with the lead here at Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. 4 points for Richie Martin, 3 points for Lane Barker, 4 points for Brian Deeker, and 6 points for Blake Schwartz. Keith Yex is here. We'll get Keith up here and talk to us for a few minutes. For the Suns, it's Danny Stevens with 12. 7 points for Griffin Tippie and 2 points for Mason Fry. The cheerleaders are out doing their dance, and Keith Yex under the headset with me now. And Keith, I said when this thing started, this is probably one of the most anticipated 1A games in the state today.
I'd have to agree with you.
Payson-Seymour, I think a lot of people maybe looked over them a little bit at the beginning of the season, but they've been playing pretty well lately.
Yes, they have.
So you just doing the journalism thing tonight, not doing the broadcasting and journalism thing tonight, apparently, huh?
No, I was down watching West Hancock and Central.
How'd that go?
Central was up 10 at the half.
Gotcha.
And that's the third time those two teams have played this season. So
West Hancock is just a team. I talked to Jeremy Anderson from Macomb the other night. They've got a big matchup coming up with Macomb next week. And I said, if you see Macomb and West Hancock come on the floor, you think Macomb's a way better basketball team. But West Hancock just does everything well.
I agree with that to the point when they're hitting the threes, they're lights out. But when you force them into a half-court game, it changes the whole dramatics of everybody on the floor. Yeah,
that's for sure. Danny Stevens is kind of showing up tonight. He's got 12 points at the half. And the amazing thing about Danny Stevens, I think, that if you watch him very much, is the number of things that he's able to do with his size.
That's for sure. It's just not the shooting. It's his ability to make that key pass to a teammate that, other guys half his size can't do.
Yeah, and it's, when you get the biggest kid on the floor is the one bringing the ball down the floor, that is a thing that just looks intimidating. Whether it is or not, it just appears intimidating when a guy that big can do those kind of things.
That's for sure, and, this is his last homecoming, so, of course, he's going to want to
show up and show out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the homecoming king, and he's sitting down. He sat down as the homecoming king tonight, and you've seen a lot of basketball this year, kind of like I have. Boys basketball in this area seems to be better this year than the girls basketball. Do you agree with that as a whole?
Overall, yes.
Yeah, and our area teams, Macomb's not bad. Central Southeastern's really good. But I don't get to see them as much. But Bushnell's struggling, West Prairie's struggling, Macomb's okay. It's kind of one of those deals where you is that better? It's one of those deals where everything's like an ebb and flow, right? You've been doing this long enough, you kind of see that. It's secular, right? It goes and it comes and it circles back around.
Right. Q&D girls definitely the team to beat in the area, but then Porta's the number 2 team in the state, and they're also going to be in that subsectional. And Central Southeastern, you're going to have 3 of the top 10 teams in the state in the same subsection.
Well, the problem, you say that, boys sectional is going to be the same way. I mean, You got Central, you got Southeastern, you got Illini Bluffs. There's some good teams in the boys subsectionals too in this area.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why they set it up the way they did.
Yeah, we could sit here and discuss how things are set up with IHSA for hours and hours and hours, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to do it some way.
Right.
Right. So, and you're never going to make everybody happy. So you just pick away and you do it, and that's just the way it is.
And with the 4-class system, that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Could you imagine what it'd be like around here, though, if it was still 2 classes?
Oh, I'd love it.
Oh, there would be some huge games, wouldn't there?
Oh, my goodness. It'd be unbelievable.
Like Central's 2A. No, they're 1A. Are they 1A in girls basketball since they co-op, or are they 2A?
They're 2A in girls basketball, but
1A in boys basketball. So they'll have, obviously, as you talked about, Q&D and CSE will be in the same. So that doesn't change that, I guess. But
right. But boys basketball, Central could factor in how far Southeastern goes, or
vice versa
with Brown County, and then you got to figure out. And then you got to figure in Route, who's the number 1 team in Class 1A in boys basketball. So.
Right. Well, and then if it was 2 classes, Macomb would be in 1A. Illini West would be in 1A. And Illini West, I know their record, maybe they've played some teams and they've lost some teams, but they've beat some teams. When that team's shooting the ball, they're tough to beat.
Yeah,
Nolan Dietrich dropped some threes.
We had 2 spurts at Quincy Notre Dame on Tuesday that cost us. They were tied at the quarter. Then Quincy Notre Dame went on I think it was a 9-0 run in the second quarter, and then in the second half went on I think it was a 12 or 13-point run, and that's the difference in the ballgame.
Yeah, runs are a tough thing to overcome, but those games where there's runs both ways, back and forth, are sure exciting games, aren't they?
Oh, they're fantastic.
So what do you think here? It's 4 points at the half. These 2 teams do not hesitate to run the half court and run sets and run plays. If this game gets to 50 for the winner, I'd be surprised.
I say the winner's probably going to be in the mid-40s.
Yeah, I would say probably pretty close to that. Looking, it depends on how many free throws we start shooting down the stretch, right?
That's for sure.
The games like this, when they remain close throughout, those are the kind of games that you end up shooting 15 or 20 free throws, and if the team makes them, then the game kind of balloons, right? But if they miss them, then it stays close.
That's for sure, and it's all going to depend on how these officials call the second half, because both coaches have not particularly cared for the way the game has been called tonight. So
no,
I think it's the first coach that doesn't get teed up that's going to have the advantage.
You very well could be right, and it took very little time for the coaches to get involved in that kind of aspect of the game, didn't it?
That's for sure. I thought Brett Upkiss was going to get the quickest tee I'd ever seen in a game, because he was 3/4 all the way down the other side.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was waiting for it to come. The officials showed a lot of discretion by not throwing one there, because there's a lot of officials that would have been. In his defense, he did take the timeout so that he could talk to the officials.
Right, but still, there is a box limit.
Right. I'm just saying, in his defense, he did at least he took the timeout, right? He could have just been screaming without the timeout. So you'll have that as time goes by. So how's life at the Hancock County Journal-Pilot?
Good, busy.
You one of the small hometown papers still surviving. You do a lot of stuff for that place, don't you?
Yep. Writing an average between 10 and 12 articles a week.
And you're the only sports guy, aren't you?
Yep. And sales guy.
So you sail during the day and cover at night.
Yep.
Well, that check has to be huge. You must be becoming a millionaire.
No.
That's not the case, huh?
No.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was in journalism myself, so I understand it.
Yep.
And I'm kind of in it now. So.
Well, have a good second half.
You do the same. Thanks for stopping by. Keith Yex talking to me there at the half as we get ready to go third quarter action here. Shelly Wood, thank you. We appreciate the kind words there, and we're glad that you were able to watch and enjoy the half, all the festivities as well. Dana Smith, hey, it's good to see you. I haven't seen Dana Smith in the live chat much this year. It's good to have you alongside. Griffin Tippy as we're underway here in the third quarter. Danny Stevens goes, and I think a foul is going to be called maybe on Nyson. We'll see who it's on here. It is on Nyson. It'll be his second. Maybe it's his first. So the first one was against somebody else that I missed earlier. Stevens misses the free throw. He's 2 for 3. He's got 12 points. Second free throw, good. And believe it or not, folks, that matches the biggest lead of the game for either team at 5. Schwartz down low, blocked from behind by Aiden Akers. And if they give that to Akers, that's amazing. Nope, they're going to give it to Stevens. That's probably not a bad call. Stevens was on him pretty good, but I thought they were going to give it to Akers. 7:36 to go in the third quarter. Down in the corner goes. Stevens gets the block as Deeker went to the hole. Now he's going to go, put the shot up, counted, and a foul. Stevens did the sidestep. What did they call? No, they called a charge on Danny Stevens. That's 3 on Stevens, and boy, will that change this contest if he gets in any more foul trouble. 2 fouls, both on Stevens here early in the third quarter, less than a minute in. Deeker's turnaround jumper's good, and he's got 6, and now Danny Stevens has to be a lot more controlled on the defensive end. And on the offensive, for that matter, as he's got a couple charge calls on him now. He's got 3 fouls. Mason Fry with it. 6:55 remaining in the third quarter. Owen Rigg. Just letting the clock run here. Mason Fry gives it off to Tippy. Looks to Stevens, can't get it there, doesn't get it there. Owen Rigg with it now. Top Mason Fry. Stevens went up to the high post, couldn't get it. Now it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Richie Martin about 3 rows up into the bleachers, but it's going to be staying with the Suns. 6:26 to go. 3-point game. Mason Fry all the way to the backcourt to Owen Rigg. 6:25 remaining, third quarter. Stevens trying to get it. Nyson is posting him up or fronting him down there on a post. Stevens working hard down in the post, can't find an opening. Now goes to the corner. Stevens going to loft up the triple. Ronaby Auto Sales three-pointer for Danny Stevens. He's got 16. Stevens, he can't lob that pass nice and over the top of Stevens. Stevens going to go to the rack, puts up the shot. It's going to roll in. Danny Stevens up to 18 on the night. And the Suns have opened up the largest lead of the game at 8. Down to Deeker, puts it around as he goes around Stevens. Deeker gets another 2. Probably going to see some of that, as I said. Stevens playing with 3 fouls right now, has got to kind of mind his P's and Q's, so to speak. Danny Stevens goes to the rack, puts the shot up and in. He's got 20. Back to an 8-point game. Schwartz with it for Payson-Seymour. Up top it comes to Nyson. Folks, this is going to be a good one down the stretch. Share this if you would. Share this link. Like it. Subscribe to the channel if you would. It's going to be a fun one here down the stretch. Schwartz for 3. It's good. He's got his 3rd triple of the night. He's got 9. And it's 29-24. And a steal. It was tipped away by Deeker, picked up by Barker. Deeker with it on the baseline. Skips it out to Schwartz. He's going to try another one, and he's short on that one. Stevens with the tip. Mason Fry comes down with a rebound. Outlets it to Stevens. Stevens might have got away with a bit of a push there as Deeker went flying. It was either a big acting job or actually a push. Halfway through quarter number 3, it's a 5-point game. 4 minutes remaining. Griffin Tippy with it. Looking for somewhere to go. Not a lot of movement, a lot of standing around right now for the Suns, trying to take some time off the clock here with a 5-point lead. Right wing, it goes to Stevens. Down low, Tippy hits turnaround jumper short and off to the left. Nyson is there for the rebound. Once again, if you'd be so kind, share this stream. Got a good crowd watching right now, but it's going to be a good one down the stretch here. Barker has it swiped away, but he gathers it back. He puts up the shot over Stevens and then wrestles with Fry, and then it goes off of Fry, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Indians down at the far end of the floor from me, right side of the TV for you folks at home. Or on your phones for that matter, I guess. Whatever you might be watching it on, laptop, phone. Schwartz with it on the inbound. Aiden Akers got him. Rigg comes to give some help. 3 on the way by Deeker, and he nails it. He's got 11 for Brian Deeker. And it's a 2-point game. No, they got a 10. They wanted a timeout. Are they doing the timeout or are they giving him a 10-second violation? It's a 10-second violation. Danny Stevens tried to call the timeout. One official blew the whistle, I think, for the timeout. The other one took it for the 10-second violation. Sub coming in is going to be Nolan Sparks as Richie Martin takes a seat. 2:57 to go, a chance to tie or take the lead for for Payson-Seymour. They were down 29-21 at the 4-minute mark. Deeker to Nyson. Over to Schwartz. Back to Nyson, top of the key, 10-foot line. Right side on the wing for Schwartz. Now to Nyson. Back to Schwartz. He'll try a triple. It's long out the back of the iron. No good, and it's going to be Aiden Akers with the rebound. Stevens pushes it up the floor. Schwartz cuts him off and sets the offense. Now it goes to Tippy. Tippy for three. Left corner. Short, and it's going to be Deeker with the rebound, and Aiden Akers is going to pick up the foul. That'll be the second on Aiden Akers. Third of the half on the Suns. 2:31 remaining in the third quarter, a 2-point game. Carter Hitz checks in. Griffin Tippy takes a seat. Austin Stone King checks in as well. Aiden Akers takes a seat. So it's Mason Fry, Stevens, Carter Hitz, Austin Stone King, and Rigg on the floor for the Suns. Nyson, Schwartz, Deeker, Nolan Sparks, and Barker on the floor for the Indians. Barker's shot's off, no good. Rebound to Stone King. Hits. Now it's going to be Stevens with 2:10 remaining in the third quarter. Right side, Rigg. Rigg wanting somebody to come to the elbow there on his side. Gives it to Mason Fry. Under 2 minutes remaining now in the third quarter. 32nd timeout's going to be called by the Suns. It'll be their second timeout. They'll have 3 timeouts remaining, all full of 3 fulls remaining down the stretch here. 1:55 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
And welcome back to Augusta, Illinois. Southeastern High School. It's homecoming for the Southeastern Suns. They lead by 2, 29-27 over Payson-Seymour. The Indians with 1:52 remaining. Scott Mudd is watching. Chase Mudd from Illini West has passed the Spanish test, so now he's watching his favorite Game Time Live. Well, Scott, I appreciate that. I'm so glad to know that he passed his test. I'm somewhat hurt that he didn't answer me himself, but I am glad that Chase passed the test. Mason Fry, Owen Rigg, 1:25 remaining in the third quarter, 29-27. Now to Stevens with 1:17 remaining, back to Rigg. Just packing in. Now Stevens high post at the top of the key, 108. 105, right side to Rigg. They are just letting the Suns run time off the clock here. We're under a minute to go now. 50 seconds remaining. Owen Rigg thought about taking a 3, passed it up. Stevens now drives, pulls up, shots on, no shot, I believe. It's on the floor. And it's going to be Nolan Sparks picking up the foul, but we'll wait and see. It is on Nolan Sparks. That'll be his first. Still in the third quarter here. Just the second foul of the quarter on the Indians. Inbound to Danny Stevens. He goes right to the rack, leaves it short. Nyson, I believe, is going to pick up the foul. On the rebound, it's going to be out of bounds. It is going to be Nyson picking up the foul. And officially it is his third. Team's third of the second half. Griffin Tippy back in. Owen Rigg to inbound. To Mason Fry, to Stevens. 38 seconds remaining. Over to Owen Rigg. This time on the offensive left of the court. Stevens, pull-up jumper from the top of the keys. Off, no good. 25 seconds. Deeker's going to run back. Pulls up, jumps it out. Schwartz for 3. No good. Rebound by Nyson, and his jumper is up and in over Stevens. Wyatt Nyson has his first 2, and we're tied at 29. Now, Brian Deeker is going to pick up his third foul. Team's fourth. Seven seconds. Rig now. 3 seconds. Skips it across. Mason Fry. Three. Good. A Ron Elby three for Mason Fry, and he has something to say to Schwartz as he hits the triple. Mason Fry has 5 to end the quarter, and he gives his team a 3-point lead at the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here to Southeastern High School on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back here to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Homecoming game for the Southeastern Suns. They enter the final 8 minutes up by 3 thanks to a big triple by Mason Fry at the buzzer in quarter number 3. And Payson-Seymour has the ball to open the final period. Nyson with it, skips it down. Nice look down low. Deeker gets another 2. He's got 13 on the night, does Brian Deeker. And they're back to within 1. Stevens gets it across half court. 7:34 remaining in the basketball game. Quarter number 4. Stevens now has it down low to Tippy. He puts the shot up, and Deeker's going to pick up foul number 4, and that's huge. Deeker thought that was clean. The officials didn't think so, and Deeker gets his 4th foul. It's team foul number 5 for the Indians. Stevens has been playing with 3 fouls since 7:10 of the third quarter. Deeker has picked up his 4th, though. Griffin Tippy hits the first of 2 free throws. (33-31). Richie Martin back in. Deeker takes a seat with 4 fouls. Second free throw coming for the sophomore Griffin Tippy. Second one is good as well. He's got 9 on the night. Back to a 3-point lead. 34-31. The ball rolled all the way to half court. No time running off the clock in a 3-point game. 7:18 remaining. Schwartz skips it across to Barker. Mason Fry, what are they going to call? They might call a block. I think they are. Brody Deeker is going to pick up a foul. It'll be his first. On the blocking foul on a pick. That's team foul number 6. The Suns will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Mason Fry to Stevens, gets it across half court. 7 minutes remaining. Chance to make it a 2-possession game for the Suns, and I'm guessing they will be in no hurry to get that job done unless they get a perfectly open shot. And they are so far up. All 5 players are within about 6 feet of Danny Stevens at the top of the key, and leaving Carter Hitz and Griffin Tippy almost all alone. Carter Hitz is so open down on the baseline. Now, again, it's Griffin Tippy on an assist from Danny Stevens, and if you're going to bring all 5 guys up to the top of the key to guard Danny Stevens, those guys are just going to sit down there and be wide open. Barker for 3. Lane Barker, his second 3 of the night. He's got 6. And just when it looks like the Suns have a chance to open it up, the Indians respond, and they cut it to 2 again with 6:24 remaining in the basketball game. This game Thank you for tuning in to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. This coverage of Southeastern Sun boys basketball is brought to you by Mudd Insurance Group and Grinnell Mutual. Contact Mudd Insurance today for all your home, auto, farm, commercial, life, health, and Medicare insurance needs, and live life knowing you're covered. Also, Adams Experts, looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services. Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. And Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsellscars.com to check out their inventory. 6:24 to go. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. Suns will be shooting a bonus the rest of the way. Danny Stevens has 3 fouls. Brian Deeker has 4. Wyatt Nyson has 3. Those are the players in foul trouble right now for both teams. Several have 2, but with 6 minutes remaining. And Schwartz is going to get called for the block. Schwartz is going to pick up his second. And 1 in bonus coming for Danny Stevens. He has not scored here in the fourth quarter. 6:01 to go, but he's got 20 points in the game. One in bonus here. First one, no good. Carter hits with the rebound, gives it out to Stevens, and the Suns reset the offense. They're man-to-man now after the timeout. Stevens is going to eat him alive, and Nyson is going to pick up foul number 4, I do believe. Counted and a foul. It is on Nyson, and that's his 4th. 2 players with 4 fouls now. Danny Stevens gets the old-fashioned 3-point play attempt. His team leads by 4. Make it 5. Schwartz trying to get it down to Brody Deeker on the block. It's kicked out of bounds, I believe, by Carter Hitz. It'll stay with the Indians. 5:45 to go. Schwartz for 3. It's good. He's got his 4th. 1 in each quarter. He's got 12. And it's back to a 2-point game. 5:35 remaining. 5.5 minutes left. Owen Rigg with it. Mason Fry now. Down to Stevens. Double teamed. Got a job coming in and knocking it, ripping it away by Brody Deeker, but it'll stay with the Suns. Brody Deeker coming down to help from his guard position, but it's going to be a jump ball possession to the Suns. Owen Rigg's got to get it in. He finally does to Carter Hitz. He looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Gives it to Danny Stevens. They have switched to a man. They gave up a couple easy baskets to Griffin Tippie earlier as they were trying to do the 1-2-2, but they were all sucking in at the top of the key on Stevens. And if they got the ball into Stevens, Griffin Tippie was wide open. Now a turnaround jumper from Tippie's left short. Deeker, who's back in the game of the Bryan variety with 4 fouls, gets the rebound. He goes right side to Richie Martin, who has it stripped away. It's on the floor, picked up by Stevens. Rigg on the outlet. Pull-up jumper. Bank shot. Good for Owen Rigg. Right back, Deeker, and they're going to call Danny Stevens for a foul. He's got 4. Danny Stevens picks up his 4th foul with 4:35 remaining. 2 free throws coming for Brian Deeker, who has 4 fouls of his own. He's got 13 points. First one is good. Second one good as well. (41-39). Timeout charged to the Suns. I didn't think they had a 30 left, but they call a 30, and that's what they're going to give them. They'll have 2 timeouts remaining with 4:27. It's 41. That's the reason why I put it on the wrong side earlier. 41-39 is the score. Danny Stevens has 23 to lead all scorers. Brian Deeker has 15 to lead the Indians. 4:27 remaining here in the fourth quarter. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there is limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. If you haven't watched any Leatherneck basketball this week, Masner has been on fire. Stevens is going to go to the fire as well, and that was very close to getting his 5th foul, but he's going to draw the foul on Richie Martin. That'll be Martin's 2nd. Two free throws coming for Stevens. First one's good. Trying to make it a 2-possession game with 4:23 to go. Good as well. He's got 25. Deeker picked up his dribble, trying to find somewhere to go. Finally gives it over to Barker. Deeker for a long triple. It's off, no good. Mason Fry tips it to Stevens. Stevens outlets it to Owen Rigg, who loses it. Deeker picks it up and goes back the other way. Mason Fry tries to cut him off. He's going to call him he's going to reach in for the foul. It's on the floor. Mason Fry is going to pick up his first foul. Probably not a bad foul. Slow things down a little bit. That'll be the 4th on the Suns. 9 on the Indians. Austin Stone King and Aiden Akers checking back in. Tippy and Mason Fry take a seat. 4:02, nearly halfway through quarter number 4. Nyson with it. Comes over to Barker. Back to Nyson. Back to Barker. Down in the corner it goes. Deeker for 3. It's off, no good. Owen Rigg with the rebound. Gets trapped in the corner, and it goes off of Richie Martin out of bounds, and he'll stay with the Suns. 3:49 remaining. Nolan Sparks is going to check in. Richie Martin is going to check out. Somebody ought to go help. Stevens has it. Schwartz is going to pick up a foul a long ways away from the basket. That'll be the 3rd on Schwartz. 10th on the Indians, and Danny Stevens is going to be shooting double bonus. His last 3 points that came from the free throw line, including the backside of an old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 25, 3:47 remaining, and he hits the first one. This is exactly what Keith Yex and I talked about at the halftime, is about making free throws, and a close game could look a little lopsided if they do it. And Danny Stevens is doing it right now. Down the floor it goes, and a foul is going to be called in a hurry. Schwartz is going to go to the free throw line. It's not on Stevens. I don't know if it's on Akers. No, it's on Rigg. Owen Rigg picks up his first foul. Team foul number 5. Be foul on the floor. Inbounding will be Nyson. Into Deeker, and nobody was there. Deeker got an easy bucket. He's got 17. I shouldn't say nobody was there. Nobody was guarding him. And it's a 4-point lead. Stevens now gets double teamed, gets it across to Stone King. Stone King on the dribble. Pull up, bank shot well off the mark. Akers tracks it down, out to Stevens. Stevens is going to drive now. Pull up, puts the shot up, lets it roll off the front of the rim and in. Danny Stevens 29 points for Danny Stevens. And another foul for the Suns. Going to be on Austin Stone King. It'll be his first. Griffin Tippy and Mason Fry checking back in. Carter hits and Austin Stone King take a seat. 3:13 remaining. Brian Deeker at the free throw line. 1 in bonus situation. Both teams in a bonus the rest of the way. Suns in a double bonus. Brian Deeker, 17, looking for 18. It's off. I thought it was in. Mason Fry high and a rebound, a jump ball to stay with Payson-Seymour. .311 remaining. It's a 6-point lead for the Suns. Nyson coming back in after a quick break. Deeker goes off of him. A good job by Aiden Akers forcing the issue. As easy as the inbound and basket was on the last inbound play, it was equally as bad. Now there's going to be offensive, defensive substitutions here as Deeker and Nyson, both with 4 fouls, take a seat. Brody Deeker and Nolan Sparks check in to play defense. 3:05 remaining. Stevens gets it across to Mason Fry. Now to Aiden Akers. Down to Tippy. They're going to bring it back out. Mason Fry, you might have heard him right there. Out. Wanting to run some clock here. Danny Stevens with it. Under 3 minutes to go. 5 seconds count's going to come here as Stevens breaks the 5-second barrier just in time. We're down to 2:48. Stevens and Schwartz is going to pick up a foul. He'll be his 4th. The Indians with 4 players with 4 fouls, all of them starters. Brian Deeker has 4. Wyatt Nyson has 4. And Blake Schwartz has 4. Danny Stevens back at the free throw line. He has 20. They have him for 28. I have him for 29. Oh, he missed that second one. That's why. Yep. He made the first one there. And he makes the second. He's got 30. Back to an 8-point game. Largest lead, Akers with the steal. Stevens now is going to bring it up the floor. Schwartz cuts him off. Stevens now on the dribble. Gives it off to Mason Fry. 2:30 remaining. Akers to Fry to Stevens. It's stolen away, and they're going to call Deeker for the foul. And Deeker's going to foul out. 2:27 remaining, and Brian Deeker gets his 5th foul. Danny Stevens back at the free throw line. Two more free throws coming for Danny Stevens. First one is good. .40, 50-41. A 9-point lead. It's the largest lead of the game right now for the Suns. Second one is good as well. He's got 32. .10 lead. 3 on the way by Barker is long, and Akers is there. No rim. And Akers gets the rebound. 2:13 remaining. Stevens going to be fouled by Richie Martin. It'll be Martin's 3rd. And Stevens going to be shooting 2 more free throws now. Martin gets his 3rd. Suns not even trying to rebound here. Danny Stevens with his team up by 10 at the free throw line again. Hits another. Hits another. It's 53-41. Danny Stevens is 10 of 12 in the 4th quarter. And a 3 on the way by Schwartz. He's got 5 of them for the night. He's got 15 points. And the Indians not ready to go away yet. Danny Stevens nearly loses it. Oh, he does lose it out of bounds. A turnover. And it's down to 9 points, and the basketball goes back to the Indians with under 2 minutes remaining, 1:57 left on the clock. Forcing it up, and Fry's going to get the rebound, and he's going to be fouled by Richie Martin, I believe. Not sure who that was down there forcing that up. It might have been Nolan Sparks or Nyson. Now 4 fouls for Richie Martin. 1 player's fouled out. 3 more players have 4 fouls for the Indians. And Mason Fry is going to be shooting a double bonus. First one's off, no good for Mason Fry. 1:53 remaining. Mason Fry's second one is good. Back to a 10-point lead. A steal. Owen Rigg on the outlet from Akers. Throws it up for an alley-oop off the backboard. Danny Stevens from Owen Rigg, and the place goes nuts. And Mason Fry has the rebound stolen away by Nyson. Back to Nyson in the corner for 3. Good for Wyatt Nyson. A full timeout charged to the Indians. I think. It's not off the board yet, but I believe that's what it is. Danny Stevens got the slam dunk. 56-47 after Wyatt Nyson hit the triple. For Nyson, he's got 5 points now, all here in the second half. It's back to an 8-point game. The crowds are getting into it down the stretch. We have 1 minute, 29 seconds remaining, and a full timeout called here. 2 timeouts remaining for the Suns and 2 timeouts remaining for the Indians. This has been a good one. Thanks for joining us here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Please, if you'd be so kind, subscribe, like this post if you would. We'll be doing a bunch more down the stretch here. We've got some big postseason stuff coming your way as well. So hang out with us, enjoy the view. It should be a good one down the stretch here on this season. Danny Stevens shooting 2 free throws. As we get a technical, it would appear. I missed that, folks. I apologize. And Danny Stevens, it's up to 37 points now. And he hits them both. He's got 38. It's 58-47. Stevens with it. Goes over to Mason Fry with 1:20 remaining in the basketball game. Fry on the dribble. Goes across to Owen Rigg. 1:15 remaining to Stevens. High post, top of the key. Still on the dribble, backs it out. Approaching the 1 minute mark now. Out to Owen Rigg. 1 minute remaining, 60 seconds left in a homecoming game. Griffin Tippy on the dribble now. He's going to drive, goes, puts the shot up, leaves it short, and it's going to be Barker taking it back the other way. Tipped out of bounds. Mason Fry and Aiden Akers both there to tip it away as Nyson was cutting to the basket. But 45.5 seconds remaining. It's an 11-point lead for the Suns. Schwartz, who's got 5 triples on the night, guarded by Rigg. Now he goes down to Nyson. Nyson gets another 2. He's got 7. And a timeout charge to the Indians. They'll have 1 timeout remaining with 36.7 seconds left, a 9-point lead for the Suns. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break and be back for the final time here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Welcome back to Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. Set the stage for you. It is 58-49. Suns with a 9-point lead. They are shooting double bonus the rest of the way. Next possession, jump ball will go to the Suns. The Indians have 3 players with 4 fouls. 1 player, Brian Deeker, their leading scorer, has fouled out of the game. They have 1 timeout remaining. The Suns have 2 timeouts remaining. 38 points for Danny Stevens to this point. Stevens gets it on the inbound. Brings it up the floor. Going to back it out. He could have had a basket there and backed it out to run time off the clock. Nyson trying to guard him. Schwartz is there now. Both those players have 4 fouls. Mason Fry with it. Back to Stevens. 20 seconds. And Stevens stepped on the sideline. 19 seconds remaining. Pastor Tom, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. 3 on the way by Schwartz. It's off, no good. Stevens is going to get the foul. Nyson is going to foul out with 11.6 seconds remaining and a chance for Stevens to go to 40 points. Danny Stevens at the free throw line. Schwartz, Barker, Brody Deeker, Richie Martin on the floor, and Nolan Sparks back there as well. First one is good for Stevens. 39 points for Danny Stevens. Subs coming in for the Suns: Austin Stone King, Van Beck, Kaltenbach coming in. One more coming for Stevens. He's at 39. Can he get to 40? He does. Three off, no good. 5 seconds. Schwartz with the turnaround. Richie Martin with the putback. And a timeout called by the Indians, their last timeout. Basket was good by Richie Martin to give him 6 points on the night. Put an extra basket up there, folks. I apologize. It's 60-51, 1.6 seconds remaining. I want to play some commercials afterwards. I got some stat addition to do here for Danny Stevens in free throw shooting. Holy camole. He shot more than a lot of teams shoot in a game here in the fourth quarter. Owen Rigg to inbound. Just needs to throw it off somebody almost. Kaltenbach going to go for the baseball pass. He gets it, puts up the shot. It's off, no good. He wanted a bucket on homecoming night for the senior. Couldn't get it to fall, and that's how it's going to end. 60-51, the final. The Suns get the win over the Payson-Seymour Indians. We'll take a couple-minute break, and we'll be back with some stats and hopefully a conversation with a couple players or coaches after this here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
I'm a pretty calm, cool, and collective guy, but... Sorry, what's your name? Yeah, Evan. Hi, Evan. Yeah, we have no internet. Nothing. I don't know. It just stopped working.
The internet is down.
I know, I'm on the phone. No, that was my wife.
I can't get online again.
Yeah, I'm talking to Evan. No, my daughter, my wife. Okay, can you guys not talk? Sorry. Yes, we have the white boxes. I see one. They got horns on them.
The one with the horns.
Yes, I see one. We have 11 of those.
I was on the phone and I got disconnected.
Okay, it's not about you. We switched our broadband service provider. Like Devin put in 11, Evan. How are we supposed to know which one's 7 and which one?
I thought it was Devin. Who's Devin? I got no service. Honey, you're blocking.
You can't stand there. You're blocking it. Don't block it. And the best part? I never have to speak to Evan or Devin ever again.
I think this one's 11.
11? We're not looking for 11. No, are we looking for 7, Evan, or 11? We have 2 next to each other. That's bad. 2 white boxes. Evan?
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
In a small community like ours, shopping locally can make a big difference. Did you know you can shop locally for your home internet? While you're powering your devices with super fast fiber internet, you also get to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Every dollar you spend on our services goes to making our town a better place to live, work, and play. You're helping us support local education, build a stronger sense of community, and keep money right here in our local economy. Thank you for choosing your local internet provider.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, they're all good. You will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Welcome back to Augusta, Illinois. Southeastern High School homecoming victory for the Southeastern Suns over the Payson-Seymour Indians, 60-51. Good scoring for both teams. A lot more points than Keith, the X, and I talked about we thought we'd see down the stretch here. Couple players from both teams in double figures. Team high 17 points for Brian Deeker. He fouled out with 2:27 remaining in the basketball game. Blake Schwartz had 15 points, all from the three-point line. He had 5 threes. Actually, I will look at that varsity book. I want to see if my stats are right here. If I can get back that far. Hey, can you have Coach Ufkus come up here and talk to me too? I want to talk to Danny too. Mr. Rigg is standing here talking to me. I'm going to look through here and see if they didn't total up. They have him for 41 points. They only have him missing 2. So he was 18 of 20 for 41. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. That's what I wanted to look at. Okay, so let's get back to what we were talking about. 5 free throws for the team for Payson-Seymour. 17 points for Brian Deeker, fouled out with 2:27 to go in the basketball game. 15 points for Blake Schwartz, all from the three-point line. He had 5 triples. 7 points for Wyatt Nyson, who fouled out with 11.6 seconds remaining. Richie Martin and Blake Schwartz also had 4 fouls for the Indians. 6 points apiece for Richie Martin and Lane Barker. Barker had 2 3-pointers. 7 points, as I said, for Wyatt Nyson. That's the scoring for the Indians. For the Suns, we'll start kind of opposite than we normally do. We'll talk about Danny Stevens at the end. Josh Kaltenbach was 0 for 1 from the free throw line, didn't score. Mason Fry was, I put that on the wrong line. Hold on a second, folks. I messed my stats up. Hey, sir, how are you? Go ahead and put that on there. I'm trying to add up some stats. I can't add the stuff very fast there. We'll get you on. And Brett Ufkus talking to us. Coach Ufkus, I'll tell you what, I guess if you're going to win homecoming and you're a senior, that's like the dream, right? If you're on a football field, you want to score the big touchdown, or you want to be 250 yards rushing or whatever. Danny Stevens kind of did that same thing tonight, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, this is my 9th year in coaching, and I think it took till about year 7 before we actually won one of these homecoming games for the people. So it was great. He got 40 points and had a nice little dunk off the backboard for the people. But I thought our defense, and Owen Rigg and Griffin Tippie and Mason Fry, Aiden Akers rebounding hard, and Owen Riggs a dog out there, and he's figuring out some things to get our team better, and he's seeing things out there that like a junior or a senior now, and things like that are just going to make us better going forward. But Dan's always tough to stop. You got to base your whole game plan around him, and that's what we count on, and that's why everything runs through him.
How many players you ever seen go 18 of 20 from the free throw line in a game? That's got to be close to a record, doesn't it?
I saw Danny make 33 in a row last year, 33 or 34 in a row, and I bet him a Gatorade he'd miss the next one, and he did. So you
jinxed him.
I actually forgot about the bet, and his mom turned around and yelled at me that I jinxed him, and I was like, oh, yeah, I jinxed him. But you just got to try to put a little pressure on him, because he's going to have to make free throws for us in the postseason, hopefully. So just got to put a little pressure on him. I mean, he's actually shooting 10% worse this year than he did last year. He's 94. I think he's about 85, but he's getting the feel of it. It's hard to shoot free throws when you're tired out there and the pressure's on you. So,
well, I kind of said all year watching you guys, if you found that other scorer, right, if you could find that other scorer, you guys are going to be tough. Griffin Tippie stepped up. I mean, there's Mason Fry's kind of taking a more active role in the offense. I mean, you guys get 11 points from Griffin Tippie tonight. If you get him with 11 or somebody with 11 or 12, that just makes Danny that much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, that somebody else has to step up, and every bucket you get is a big bucket. We play pretty good defense and give up about 36, 37 points a game, and Dan averages close to 30, So if he can get his average and we can guard and somebody can step up and get some big buckets, then we're going to be in the game, But, these other kids, it is difficult, They're all over them too and pressuring them, and our offense is run through Dan, so you kind of run that triangle up there, and it's methodical at time and whatever. But that's the way we got to play. That's Jeremy Stevens, Danny's dad, he's our offensive coordinator, and I think he's come up with a lot of good stuff. And I mean, that's the way we're going to play. And thank God there's not a shot clock yet in high school basketball.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody talked about the zone that the Indians were going to play when they came in tonight, and they packed it in early, trying to. Danny wasn't going to get the ball in the paint. And you kind of spread it out. And as the game went along, they had to, a couple guys started hitting shots. Danny hit a 3. They kind of spread that out a little bit. And then you put Danny at the high post, and Griffin Tippie and Carter Hitz are sitting down here on the baseline, and nobody is paying any attention to them. Yeah. All 5 guys literally coming up to grab Danny when he got the ball, and Danny just turns around, makes 2 or 3 passes down to Griffin Tippie, and the zone's gone.
Yeah, well, so he's a unique player. And, I mean, I don't know anybody in the area that can guard him one-on-one. So when the ball goes to him it is a unique situation for us because he has to bring the ball down the floor for us. So he doesn't have his dribble. So when he gets to the foul line and he catches, well, he's got his bounce to jab and shot fake and do what he's capable of doing. And he's big and strong and demands a double team. So, I told the kids that I thought that they needed to man up and just try to lob it in there to Dan. And I said, Dan, go up and get it with 2 hands. And if you get it, I said, those kids from, we call it the void, down here short corner. I said, those kids from the void are flashing up. I said, it is just going to be layup drill. And we got 3 of them in a row. And, they have to adjust. But it's just a credit to Dan, how big and strong and athletic and how hard he's worked in the weight room and, at his craft or whatever. So it's just, it's crazy. We played Macomb this year, and we couldn't believe it, but they played a boxing one on us, When you play us, you have to game plan for him, and if you don't, you're going to be in trouble, I heard somebody tell me that they would try to guard the other kids and let Danny play one-on-one, and I told him, I said, well, you lose, because there ain't nobody that can guard him one-on-one. He's going to get 50 on you, because
he's done that once this year, right?
Yeah, he had 52 and 49 and 40 there, so, I don't know. We talk about, basketball nowadays. It doesn't have boundaries. I love it. When I was in high school, we had Evan Boozen, and he played in the paint, But now, Danny's big. He can put the ball on the floor. He can make foul shots. He can post you up. He can play back to the basket. He can play high post. So he's really just a nightmare for you. However, you're going to, we're going to adjust accordingly to your game plan and play him in different areas, and he's going to be successful because of his talent and his drive and his athletic ability.
Really, I feel like the thing that makes him good is he never loses his temper, never really, or at least doesn't show that he does.
Sure.
And that's when you're getting triple teamed. I called one of your games earlier, and I said at the Great Western Shootout, he's getting triple teamed, like literally triple teamed. I said, I've done this for 25 years now. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get triple teamed on the regular, and he does that.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's an anomaly in 1A basketball. It's just, you don't see somebody with his size and athleticism and shooting ability, just the full package. So, we talk all the time that basketball offense is about getting a 2-on-1, making 2-guard-1 and reacting accordingly. And when he just walks in the gym, he gets that, and that's good for us. And I'm just glad to have him for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and your kids play including Danny, play really good defense. That's kind of, you got Danny and then you got defense.
Sure,
that's almost what it's been this year, right?
We talk about that all the time. Dan's going to take care of our offense. It goes through him. You take care of the defense, and we're going to win. If we guard hard and rebound and, run our offense effectively, we're going to be right there. There's some good teams, Camp Point and Eureka and, West Hancock. It's always going to be tough to beat them because they're just going to make shots and execute as well. But we'll be right there and have a chance to compete if we do those two things, run the offense through Dan and guard hard on defense. So.
Well, Ramsey Fry last year when Danny was gone kind of stepped up and he became that kid that could score all the time. Danny's been here all year this year, so you haven't had that opportunity to force somebody, but it seems like Griffin Tippie is kind of looking to score a little more. Some of these kids it's taken them longer to get to this point, but you're finding those kids that are willing to shoot and take some big shots.
Yeah, Griffey, this is his first year playing with us, and he's got a lot to learn, and he's kind of been timid, but so would I coming in my first year having to start on the varsity, so he's getting more comfortable, and he's a fantastic athlete.
He could jump.
I compare him to like a Keenan Elliott back in my day. He stands out here at water break and practice, and he'll dunk it. So someday he's going to get a nice dunk where people are very surprised because he is a freak show athlete. He's got a good-looking shot. His biggest issues are he's a perfectionist, and he's too hard on himself. So I've tried to ease up on him a little bit, but he thinks he should make every shot, and he's used to, being the guy, being the stud. And, now you're a 15-year-old, 16-year-old playing against 18-year-olds.
Right.
You're not playing against, 13-year-olds when you're a 13-year-old. So he's figuring it out. And, that's in Aiden Akers, too, and, Carter hits and all them boys, Dan's not going to get as much better in the next 3 weeks as they can, He's,
right.
They have to keep elevating their game and getting better because it's going to make our team that much better. So, it's just going to be a different animal the further we get. We got a couple nice games in the Subway Superfan with Steelville, and then we still got to play Notre Dame here, and we got Brown County still. So we have several tough games left on our schedule where we'll get to see what we're made of.
That's not all bad, though, right? At this point in the year. Some tests down the stretch are good for you, right?
Yeah, I clearly don't care about my career winning percentage, because I told Danny that even if we went undefeated this year, I'd still be below 500 for my career. So we just wanted to put games on our schedule to challenge us with the best teams to get us ready for the postseason. So we got some tough ones coming up. Steelville was in the Final Four last year, and Notre Dame's got they got Sheffield back and Wallingford back, so they're going to be a load too. So it's going to be exciting down the stretch, but we got to play better ball, because I still think, we're going to be in the same regional as Camp Point, and, they're a tough matchup for us because of their quickness and ability to rebound and be physical, and they got a lot to prove, those kids. Those kids have seen us win, and, they're hungry, and I can just tell, when they beat us both times, it was quiet. They didn't talk, they didn't say nothing, they just handled their business, and I told our boys that that's scary.
Yeah.
When people are just handling their business and know that they're, on a crash course with trying to win trophies, and, you better pack your lunch and wear your hard hat against them. So,
well, Coach, I'm going to get Danny on here.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming up here and talking to us, and congratulations on a homecoming win.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Yep. Danny Stevens under the headset here. I want to twist that thing around and make sure maybe it'll work a little better here. It doesn't want to stay up. There we go. Danny, 18 of 20 from the free throw line. That's not a bad night.
Yeah, I feel like I've been struggling this year from free throw line more than last year. Last year I shot 90%, but this year I'm only down around 81, 82%. So it was good to get the confidence back at the line, and hopefully I can keep that going into postseason, because that's important.
Well, you're homecoming king. You win the homecoming game. You score the most points. That's like what dreams are made of for a high school senior, right?
It was fun, and a great crowd. Thank you for everyone coming out, and it was fun playing in front of all those people.
Yeah, this place, I don't know that there was very many empty seats left in this gym. I said to Coach Kerr at the end of the fresh soft game, I said, I kind of wish this gym was a little bigger.
Yeah, that'd be great, because then we could fit more people. But, when smaller gym, it's louder, I feel like. So
yeah, it is. It was loud in here tonight. There's no doubt. I talked to Coach Efkus about this. You guys broke them out of that zone that they were running when you started getting the ball at the top of the key. They were literally collapsing all 5 players on you. You found Griffin Tippy 2 or 3 times there for easy buckets. When you have that many people closing in on you, what the heck goes through your mind?
Get the ball to the open man. There's 3 guys on me. There's got to be at least 2 people open. So, and Griffey, he had, I don't know, wasn't he double digits?
He had 11.
So he had a nice night, and he got blocked a few times, but he kept going in strong and taking it in. I think he got fouled once or twice, so that was good for him.
He's athletic as all heck. He can jump.
Yeah, he can dunk. He's a really good athlete.
That's I've watched him play all year, but like tonight I saw him jumping with you, and he's getting up there.
Yeah, so hopefully in the next few years we can add some skill to him and confidence, and with his athleticism he should be a pretty good ball player.
How tough is it for you going out here every night? We did the Great Western Shootout up at Abington, and you were literally getting triple teamed. That has to get old, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's annoying, but I guess that's just what the teams are gonna do to us. So, but the main thing is just staying composed. They're trying to rush me, but you just got to stay composed and find the open man.
So, obviously, you're going to Missouri, play some basketball. Obviously, the caliber of players you play against here aren't the caliber of players at a Big 12 school, but the fact that you've been double teamed and triple teamed and quadruple teamed, that has to help you when you get down there. Even if it's a better player, if it's only one, it has to feel good, right?
Yeah, going against 2-3 guys, it makes me score with my brain. I can't just outpower 2 guys or 3 guys. So it makes me use my brain, and I'm not going to be the most athletic one out there in the SEC, so I got to use my brain to score.
The dunk, the alley-oop off the backboard. I see Rig coming down, and I call it. I said, well, Rig's out in front, and I see Rig turn his head and look back.
Yep.
Did you know it was coming as soon as he looked back at you?
Yep.
No words were said.
I saw a little smirk, too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was and he laid that sucker up there perfect, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right for you. How awesome is that when you get to do that kind of stuff at this level when a full gym? How awesome was that feeling?
It's a great feeling, especially when the crowd goes crazy. A dunk, my dad always says a dunk's worth like 10 points because it gets the crowd involved, it gets your team all hyped up. So anytime we can do something like that, it's fun.
Well, this Indians team doesn't go away, though. That Nyson went right back down at the other end of the floor and nailed a triple.
Yeah, I mean
they just don't quit, do they?
Yeah, they're a good, scrappy little team, and they shoot lights out.
Yeah, they had a bunch of threes on. I don't know how many they had, but Schwartz had 15 points, and they were all from three-point line. Barker had 6, and they were from the three-point line. I mean, they're not afraid to shoot. How tough was it for you, 7-10 of the third quarter, you pick up your third foul? How did that change your game for the next maybe 7 or 8 minutes or 9 minutes?
I mean, I still got to be aggressive on defense and tacking on offense, but at the same time, I got to be a little bit more laid back and relaxed because, I can't get that 4th or 5th foul there.
Yeah, you're probably the one player in the state of Illinois that really they can't afford to have you foul out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about Danny Stevens, but you play with the rest of your team on a daily basis. There's some good athletes and some good basketball players on this team that are kind of overshadowed a little bit by what you're able to do. But on the defensive end, those kids on your team are so tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think defense is what won a lot of our games. We're keeping teams in the 30s and 40s, and then if we can score 50 a night, 60 a night, which 60 is, I mean, that's a lot. But if we can score 40, 50 a night and keep teams at 30, 40, we're going to win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, and it takes people understanding their role. And I told to Coach Effigus, and I don't know if you could hear us, but when you were hurt last year, Ramsey Fry kind of really stepped up, and he suddenly became another threat, right? With you being here all year, you haven't had that. But there's guys now that, as I've watched you guys play, there's guys, Griffin Tippy's kind of stepping up and shooting. Mason Fry's getting more willing to shoot the ball and pressure things a little bit. You feel like as you get into the postseason, you need those guys to do those things to help you and help the team?
Yeah, for sure, because I think it was Illini West a couple weeks ago in the Hancock County tournament. Griffin made 4 threes in the third quarter. And
right.
Then they had to switch to man, and then that there was only one guy on me then. That allowed me to get more space and then do my thing. But so, yeah, I mean, when everyone's going on all cylinders, we're a pretty good team.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, Danny, you still got to get changed, and I hope everything's good for the dance tomorrow night.
Thank you.
You get to wear the crown?
Yeah, I guess I do.
You have to sit down or get extra low because Eli Leisman isn't.
I might block Eli behind me.
Yeah. You'll have to make sure he's off to the side or something so he's not blocking him out. So, well, congratulations. Thanks for coming up and talking to us. Congratulations on a homecoming win. I mean, you're going to remember this one forever.
Yeah, for sure. This is only my second homecoming game too in my senior year, so I haven't played one since my freshman year, which is crazy.
You were still hurt last year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is the game before I came back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you win your freshman year?
Yeah, played Unity.
So you won your freshman year and you won your senior year.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Well, not many kids can go out with this kind of a production night. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being a king, and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for us from here from Southeastern High School in Augusta, Illinois. The Suns pick up the win 60-51 over the Payson-Seymour Indians. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Melissa Berg was here all night. Chad Rost. Thanks for hopping in there. Dana Smith, good to see you on the chat, as I said earlier. So for Evan Wagner, who's sitting up here with me. Evan, why don't you put the headset on? You can talk. Come on, just for a minute. Come on, just for a minute. Come on. Put the headset on, Evan. You can talk for just a few seconds. Evan is a camera guru for me for Southeastern here, and you kind of got suckered into this at the state tournament for volleyball last year, and it's kind of just stuck, hasn't it?
Yep.
Well, I want everybody to know I appreciate everything you do for us here. You do a great job.
Yeah.
And you always run and get people for me and do all the extra stuff that people don't see. So you going to do this for us until forever, or at least until school's done or something like that? Well, I appreciate it greatly. What did you think of Danny's performance tonight?
That was pretty good.
Did you think did you get the dunk? I didn't look at the camera. Did you get the dunk?
I'm pretty sure I did, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you didn't, you're going to hear about it, I'm sure, at school tomorrow if you didn't get the dunk.
Yeah.
That's not a surprise, so.
No.
Well, you're the Wagner here now, right? I mean, you're the Wagner here now. Is it good to have your sister gone?
Yes, very.
Yeah, good. Get to be the man, the Wagner of the high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't blame you. My brother said the same thing about me when I left, so I get it. Well, Evan, thank you again for everything you do. I do greatly appreciate it. And that'll do it from Southeastern High School, 60-51 to final. You've been watching TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. For Evan Wagner, I'm Dwayne Hulett. We'll talk to you again very soon.